is tree girdling. So what happens is mice or voles will come over, and the sap on these hard apple trees are sweet, and the mice love the taste of them. So if you take a look at this young tree we planted this summer, it is stripped up almost a foot off the ground, completely bare right to the roots, and it is crisped up and dead. I've never had one of them go in the summertime. Usually this happens in the winter, is the mice and voles will go underneath the ice and snow and tunnel up through and strip the bottom 6 inches or so and kill the trees. I've never had one happen this early, and usually the fall we put the tree protectors on. And if you look behind us over here, you can see one of the ones we've already installed. It's this black drainage tile. So we're going to go ahead. We have the 4-inch drainage tile. We're going to go through and measure about 24 inches tall. Where my tape is at. And the easiest way to cut drainage tile is just with a utility blade. Get right between the grooves. The helper's going to catch the cutoff end apparently. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice job. And we're going to come over here, and for the next step, we're going to split it. Sorry about the wind we're having out here, but the next step after you get the drainage tile cut to length is we're going to go through and split this and give it a seam. That will allow us to open this up and put it around a tree trunk. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can take your time and rock it, a utility blade down through it. The fastest way though is if you have a skill saw, is you can lay it down flat on the ground, and you'll see in a second we can skim farther through. Want to cover your ears? So the biggest thing is this tile is going to go basically around the tree just like so. You're not going to leave lower limbs close to the ground. You can't mow underneath the tree, clean it up. So by the time we get done, the earliest limbs that will stay permanent are usually about 3 feet up coming out. So that drainage tile is going to go around, and before it chafes and causes death of these limbs.
Very nice, buddy.
Yeah, Roger just cleaned up the dead tree for us. So I have one more limb to clean up. Typically I'd use the pruning shears, but I'm just getting things done. So, lower limbs off.
This is not a video on how to properly prune trees, obviously.
Yeah. The biggest thing is something's already started chewing around the graft on this tree. So we've already had a mouse or a vole or something starting to get at it. So apparently, if I'm gonna let the grass grow tall, which is probably part of the reason, is we didn't mow out here as much as I usually do because I didn't mow the lawn this summer. And usually this would be mowed really short, and I think that's the big reason why these got hit so hard this year is no one mowed around the apple orchard. So all you do is make sure it go bypasses. Plastic's pretty malleable, and you just want to get it stretched so it curls up past itself. That way there's no gaps. As long as it closes so a squirrel or a mouse or a chipmunk can't get in, it will close up quite well. If you really want to get OC out of it, you can go through and around it and take a zip tie and tighten it up. I've never had them open up wide enough to have a mouse get through. So as long as they close up, you're golden. So all I'm going to do, since we have a garden right here and I want to add some good soil on top of it, so I'm going to steal some of the sandy loam I have over here. So we have some sandy loam, and all we're doing is backfilling. So we want this to be buried. Interesting about those mice and voles is they really don't dig into the ground to get at the apple trees. They usually go right at ground level. So long as it's buried a couple inches in, you won't have a problem. And since I didn't back this tree, usually I backfill them already. Watch out, Roger. That's plenty. And all we're gonna do is pack it in right around the base. And she's good. That's vole mouse proof.